What's going on, everybody? So today I want to go over the potential resurgence of monoquantum in Honkai Star Rail. So as many of you may know, monoquantum is really an archaic playstyle, right? Running Silverwolf with Sealy back in the day, and then Lynx first came out, and then monoquantum was a thing for like one more patch, and then by the time Penacony came out, it kind of died, right? And then we had Sparkle, who kind of revived it but didn't. My point is, monoquantum was really old, right? It was like from the beginning of the game, and nobody has talked about it ever since because it is nowhere near optimal anymore. Because back then Honkai Star Rail was a casual game, and now the game's actually getting extremely difficult for said casual players. But I want to go over the potential, like the possibility of monoquantum coming back. So let's get started, right? First things first, I want to address Silverwolf. Silverwolf, of course, is going to be the key component for actually running a monoquantum team comp. Sparkle as well as a number two, but Silverwolf is really there for the weakness implant, you know, always weakness breaking the enemies, right? So Silverwolf obviously meant to be the main part of monoquantum team comps, but nobody wanted to run monoquantum or Silverwolf because Silverwolf sucks, right? No, there was no unit to have power crept Silverwolf. It's just that she fell off because there's no team comps where Silverwolf can be fit into. You're not going to use Silverwolf with Jinglu. You're not going to use her with Imbiber Lune. You're not going to use her. You could use her with Acheron. It's not optimal, but you could. But you're not going to use her with Fei Xiao. You're not going to use her with the Herda or Casterus. You get what I mean, right? I mean, maybe Casterus. But that's where things come in, right? Silverwolf is going to be getting buffed in version 3.4, and I absolutely do not think that she will be tier 0 when she gets buffed. Absolutely not. Do not get your hopes up. But I think that monoquantum will be a fun thing to experiment with. I personally will be testing out monoquantum once Silverwolf does get buffed. But she will be buffed in a way where she'll be able to compete with Anaxa in terms of sheer weakness breaking the enemies, which is going to be really nice because Anaxa can, or not weakness breaking, but weakness implanting the enemies, because Anaxa can do that a lot better than Silverwolf can right now, and currently there is absolutely zero incentive to pull for Silverwolf, and so there's such little incentive to the point where I was surprised that she didn't become a pseudo standard 5-star. But it looks like now we know why, right? She's getting buffed. I will make a video going over Silverwolf's buffs and all that for, you know, like in another day. But now I'm yapping, right? My point is, I feel like monoquantum will be a potentially fun team comp that may actually be kind of viable. Will it be optimal? No, it probably never will be. But I feel like you'll be able to run Skibidi Wolf post buff, Sparkle, either actually not Casterus, because Casterus and Sparkle can't synergize with each other. So the ideal monoquantum team comp that I'm thinking about right now is going to be Archer as the main DPS. There's a leak that Archer will be able to synergize really well with Sparkle. It makes sense because Sparkle buffs allies' damage. Oh, of course, she buffs crit damage overall, which Archer is going to want that. She gives attack overall damage increase. I wish she gave all-type res pen. Sadly, she doesn't. And last but not least, right, she is going to be able to help out with the skill point manipulation, because Archer seems like he will kind of be like a hunt version, a single target variation of Imbiber Lune. So you'll be able to pair those two really well. If they can synergize, they'll be really well. You can use Silverwolf additionally, and of course there's a light cone that can work really well with Silverwolf, the Herda shop light cone, the before the tutorial mission starts light cone, like the former event light cone. And for sustain, honestly, you could just run Lynx. You could either run Lynx or you could run Sustainless, whether you run Jade. It's going to have to be a character that is Quantum in order to get the full monoquantum team comp going. You could run Tribby. Tribby's a possibility. Run an S5 Dance Lycone on her, and you could have yourself a potentially crazy team comp. Of course, either Tribby or more ideally Lynx, who I consider to have been power crept by this point. But we don't have any other quantum wait, no, wait, I'm sorry, hold on. We actually have Fu Xuan. So you could run Fu Xuan as a sustain, who is actually going to be easier to get now that you can lose your 50-50 to Fu Xuan, meaning that she is on every single limited character banner in the game long term, as long as you set her and you add her to your 50-50 loss pool. So just to run things down real quick, you could run Archer, Sparkle, Silverwolf, and Fu Xuan, and you could potentially have a 2025 edition resurgence of the monoquantum team comp. But that is going to be it for this video. There is not much else to say. I only have Sparkle and Silverwolf. Archer will be free. The only one left standing is Fu Xuan, and I hope to get her by the time 3.4 drops. I will test out this team comp and I will let you all know how it goes. I have high hopes. I feel like Archer will additionally be viable in the meta for quite some time. I don't think that he'll be the number 1 DPS, or number 2, number 3, or even number 4 DPS. There's way too many meta units in the game right now. I don't think he'll be better than the Herda or Casterus or Phynon, right? He could potentially take the number 4 spot, but even then that could belong to Saber already. We don't know. Regardless, it seems like we're going to shift away from AoE meta. Right, we're getting a rerun for the Herda in version 3.3 allegedly, although it's almost certain that it's going to happen. And usually a DPS rerun comes with a shift in meta. And as we see, the upcoming DPSs do not have, they don't tackle on all 5 enemies on the field. They either take on 1 or 3, right? Phynon and Saber are destruction, so they do not have the same kind of area of effect as the Herda and Casterus each. And there's Archer, who is straight on single target, and 3.4 doesn't seem like it'll even have any DPS units. So with that being said, I think that the AoE shilling of 2025 is actually coming to an end. But that's about it for this video. I honestly think that monoquantum will kind of go crazy. I don't know, I'm hyped for it. I'm willing to test it out. I will build Archer. I will use him with my E3 S1 Sparkle and my E0 S0 Silverwolf. I'm excited. I'm sure it'll be interesting to say the least. But that's about it for this video. Let me know if you think that monoquantum has a chance in this day and age or not. But I'll see you. Goodbye.